I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. First, I want to say happy Super Bowl Sunday. Haven't done a video in a few weeks, and of course, with the Super Bowl today, we don't want to waste anybody's time, so we are going to try to get straight to the price action the best that we can. So the markets are definitely up here. We are in a confirmed uptrend up here, and there's always drama lurking around the corner. There's always a chance the market can pull back. There's always a chance something can happen. There's always a chance JP Morgan could be right when they say the market's going to pull back. There's always a chance Dan Ives could be right when he says everything's going to the moon. So. And right now we're in a period of time where, coming off of earnings just after Powell, no super large catalyst ahead. I mean, we do have CPI this week. We do have NVIDIA earnings coming up next week. So there is a few things to look forward to, but it's not like day for day. We're not getting that movement off of our Fed speakers that we were, even though we were getting a lot of them coming back in. They're basically all saying the same thing. So it looks like trust the Fed when the Fed says rates will be the second half of the year. At least that's what we're looking for. But very few of us are in here taking positions looking for anything like that. At least the Trend Catalyst trader members, anyway. I'm sure we have plenty of YouTube subscribers and stuff that are taking positions, but it's just not our thing. So we did get a lot of bullish flow coming in at market open. Obviously, we haven't even put the first candle up. So what we're going to do here is recap Friday. So we're going to be using the 1 and the 5 minute time frame. And we have been playing with this 500 number up here. We were hoping to at least go up and touch 500. We were, always weren't worried about whether that's going to be a wall or will we be able to move up above that. So in this 5,000 on SPX as well, we've been watching that, but SPX had already hit 5,000, I do believe, on a previous day. I spend most of my time watching the SPY, so if I'm wrong about that, I do apologize. I do know that SPY hadn't hit 500 and was teasing us with that 500. So let's just get right to the price action. And as we know now, we definitely did hit that 500. But, for now, we're going to go back just like it was the beginning of the day. And our first candle here on the 1 minute time frame was to the downside. And at this time, we've seen a few puts coming in, but we basically went instantly bullish on the markets. Not a lot of flow was coming in, but it was much more to the bullish side than what it was the bearish side. The first two candles tried to pull. The second two candles trying to push back up to test the 9. Breath pulled back for the first 4 minutes of the trading day and tried to reverse into that 5th minute. Right here we had a bullish Rami with a nice close above. We were watching the 9 here, and sometimes you can get a nice setup in that first 5 minutes, but normally we're not looking to trade in that first 5 minutes. So, and this is your 5th candle right here. You can see your Bollinger Bands turning up. We did close above the 9. We do want to go take a look at this 5 minute time frame. And we want to turn the 5 on there, watching the 5 on the 5, and that is the green line. Here on the 5 minute time frame, it's giving us a bullish Rami, comparing it to the pre-market candle there. So that's a possible sign up. We do got wicks both directions on that. So it's a little mixed signals, but the candle did gap up and it is trying to go. So we are seeing a possible reversal signal there on the 5. So what we want to see is the second 5 minute candle taking out the first 5 minute candle. We want to go to the 1 minute chart. Still trying to push up here. Want to turn that 5 off, the 5 on the 1. So we're still trying to push up here, push right into that 20. At this point in time, we're not looking for any trade while we were buried right into that 20. We need to clear those levels, in which we did have a hard time getting through some of these levels, which we know that now. We didn't know that at the time. Want to go check this 5 minute candle. You can see right there, this candle's trying to push up. That actually did open flat and close right there. So that's telling us right there we did get a 1 minute or 5 minute confirmation for a move higher, even though price action does not look like it yet. You can see we're still holding the 9. That candle right there actually closed below the 9, but we are, for now, the next candle pushed back up, gapped up, and closed back above it. We're still holding the 9, watching the 9 turn up. We do got some green in that MACD. So even though that was a nice rejection there was no follow through on that candle. And there was also no reason to take this trade either, looking for follow through. And let me explain why. Because your candle gapped up. So that's your initial sign that, a change in character, this thing's possibly wanting to try to push up and actually closed higher. The next candle pulling down, trying to push. What would you have needed to take this candle out? If we would have opened flat, I would have been good with just moving below and just seeing the candle drop below and pull. Since the candle gapped up, I need a little better confirmation than that, and that's when I definitely need to see that wick cleared. And please understand, it never hurts to wait for a wick, for any wick to be cleared. Like I say, I may have took that without clearing the wick if the candle didn't gap up, but that gap up was that clue saying, hey, you need the best confirmation as possible to take this trade to keep your probabilities as high as possible of winning this trade. So trying to push up right now, we're holding the 9. And this candle, you can see the candle opened up below the 9 and push back up. It's telling you right there it wants to go higher. The MACD is opening up. We do have a brighter green histogram bar pushing up here on the 1. Struggling. Still, even though it opened up right there, it stayed in there between that open and close. It opened up below the 9, closing higher there. MACD bar, histogram bar getting bigger, opening up here. For me, I'm looking for a long trade here, but I want to take out. You can wait till you cross the candle line. For me, I just want to be above the wick. You can see a possible W pattern trying to be put in here. It also can be considered a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Pivot point 1, this would be pivot point 2. This is pivot point 3. When price crosses pivot point 2, that's when you're looking to enter. Now, I do want to point out your bands are coming down quick. Let's go look at the 5-minute time frame here. Let's go here. So right here, trying to get a reversal, we've seen that close above there. This candle pushing higher. On this 5-minute time frame, I want to be above this wick right here. I just have to be. Just because there's a candle line there, and it splits those two ugly candles like that. So but I definitely have to be above this area. This is right here is where it's going to put you in that area, which is going to put you right at the top of those wicks. So that right there, this level right here is in control. That is resistance, and I can see confirmed resistance right there with those wicks in that area. It's close enough for me to respect that area. I personally need to be above that area before I'm going to go into a trade. Will not enter a trade until I comfortably cross that area. I do want to point out your Bollinger Bands are coming in pretty quick here, so they may want to pinch before this thing gets a real move. Right there, we did slightly get a close above, so that's a signal that it could possibly try to go higher here, see if we can continue to push. Still would like to be above a little bit in this area right here. You can see we're still wicking in the same area. It looks like the candle line slightly did close above there, but we're still wicking in the same area, so we need to see a little better right there. We're taking out the confirmation candle because that was the confirmation candle. Next candle closing higher. See if we can get it to go here. We got a great looking MACD. 1, 2, 3 reversal in progress. Still trying to respect the 9 here. Still respecting the 9, flagging back to the 9. At this point, we've got to close above. Trying to start the stair step higher, but we need to open those bands up to go higher. And right there, breaking back down. So is this a higher low or are we breaking down? You can see your goose head forming. So we need to see how that works out. That's just a pattern we look for in moving averages. And as we talked back here, the bands are pinching quick. So sometimes when you see that, that can be a huge clue to, wait for a proper setup, either the bands to get opened up or let the bands pinch in. Right now, coming down, testing the Bollinger Band. We need to see if that Bollinger Band opens up on this next candle. Candle coming down. Bands are trying to open up here. Trying to move lower. Possible. To me, I want to say dragonfly, but little hammer candle, pin bar there. So you can see up here, we pushed higher. We got a bearish Arami, which signal that it may want to go lower or chop sideways, just a change in character. You can see they pulled it down, trying to buy it back right there. Let's get this 5 on just to see where that's at. So at this time right here, you can see your 5 on the 5 turning up, and we got to close above it. We got to watch the 9 on the 5 for support. Right now, we're looking like a possible higher or lower high, or I'm sorry, higher low right here, and that's probably all that candle is. And you can see right here, they're trying to take it back right there as well. Let's see what we get on the next candle. Boom, nice. Let's get the 5 on the 5 off. All right, there we go. So, or the 5 on the 1. Turn that off. So very Morningstar is using the blended candle method here. We've seen a sign on 2 time frames, plus it's happened to be looking for the trend. This is a lower high right now, trying to push higher. Look at your 9 forming the goose heads. What we're looking for a lot of times on these pullbacks, you got to be really careful. The 9 was not following there either. We didn't get a very good job with the 9 trying to follow the price around. I'm trying to go higher here. Holding our 20, the 9, we need to see that 9 turning up. This 20 is turning up. That could be a sign we're seeing some green come back into the MACD. The 50 needs to be cleared. We need to see those bands open up. Let's go take a quick look at the 5. So we still got the 20 on the 5. Really nice reversal there off of that pin bar, and nice move up on that candle. Strong move up, which we spotted, seeing that come in. Watching the MACD here, want to clear some levels. Another nice move higher, and you can see a lighter histogram bar come in, telling us that the momentum was fading, and then we got the brighter green coming in, telling us the stronger momentum was coming back in. We need to see how we handle this Bollinger Band. We'll see this Bollinger Band open up now on this one minute candle. When we get this next candle, 200 is the next target. If we are going to go higher, we've got to close above everything. Right into the 200, nice close over there. So a nice push up. All started off this Morningstar here. Nice hammer candle, pin bar, upside down pin bar. A very bullish candle. You can see the candle actually opened up here and dropped lower, and there was a big change in character in that candle. And the buyers brought it back up. Now the buyers we didn't even see the bands open up there. We see the bands open up here. They are opened up nicely. Remember, we need to see those bands open up like somebody walking through a set of double doors. That's exactly what we want to see. Trying to go higher here. So pre-market levels would be the target. Coming back in. 10 o'clock, I wanted to say somebody started talking there on us. Let's go into the 5-minute time frame. So you can see we did not get a close above on this candle, but we are trading within these moving averages. We want to see this 9 turn up. We still got to get above that 20. 50 is acting as support. We want to see this 9 turning up. The 5-minute MACD is changing character. Go back to the 1. See what we get here. Will we flag? Will we hold it? Or remember, when we start coming back, we're looking to see where the low gets put in. Right now, we're respecting the 9. Looks like this is your new low. So when you put in a new low, you're automatically thinking of putting in a new high. That just doesn't automatically happen, but that's what we're looking for. When we put in a higher low, we're looking for a higher high. We're looking for another, we can call this a 1, 2, 3 reversal, an H-buy pattern. It's a bull flag break. You know, you got pivot point 1 down here, you got pivot point 2 there, you got pivot point 3, a higher low. When price crosses pivot point 2, you're looking for the entry. You can always, be super strict and let it get past your wicks if you want. And that's usually what I try to do, or look for trades up to the wicks. Right now, no close above, turning back down. Still no confirmation up above that level to take that trade. The 9 looks good. You can see the goose head trying to form there. Now we need to see this 9 continuing higher. This Bollinger Band looks good. Looks like we want to go higher. Brighter green histogram bar coming back into the MACD. Got to close above. Now we're seeing a lot of backfill. So what are we expecting here? Backfill before going higher. Need to see this candle trying to turn up and respecting higher. So even though we got to close above, trying to pull back once again and put in a higher low. A lot of backfill. Trying to go higher here. Struggling, still trying to go higher. Putting in a lot of backfill. And this is what the market's been doing. Makes it very difficult to trade unless you're respecting all your confirmations. And boom, That's finally your move higher, but you see a big rejection in that candle. So the candle looked like it was ready to go to the moon. Now, the seller stepped in on that candle and brought it back down. See what the next one gives us. And that right there was what helped give us this big down candle right here. It was a really nice down candle with a strong close, and you could see that right there coming into it. The second this candle closed, it actually gapped up a little bit before they snatched it lower. And here we go, breaking it back down, seeing some follow through. Very choppy here. Bands not, we've seen them try to open up. They're pinching. That right there, that pinch right there is telling us to stay out. The market is not ready to make a move yet. We just seen a bunch of backfill. We got to stay out of it until we see the right signals here. MACD, a little bit of green coming back in. Back up here, testing this Bollinger Band. If those Bollinger Bands don't open up in both directions, we're not looking for a trade here because it's just chopping around in that area. We're trading on another very low volume day. That's why we wait on the Bollinger Bands right there. All right, so right here, this candle went up and tried to open up again and would have come back on you. This one was able to close. That's what started to force the Bollinger Bands open right there, going higher. This one was not enough to do it. This one closing up in that, actually above, forcing them open, seeing them open up in both directions. After that area right there, there was a decent trade to be had. Don't want to get greedy coming back into your 9 at this point. Now that we're coming back into the 9 on the 1, we want to see how we handle that 9. If we break below it, we're looking to see where the low gets put in at. You can see right here the 9's on the way up on the 1. We're going to turn the 5 on. If we do pull back here, which it looks like we may, bearish Rami, spinning top, doji, call it, it's not a Rami, it's a little bearish doji. See if that'll bring us back into the 5 on the 5, and that's exactly what we would be looking for there, was more backfill. Until we also want to point out, we also seen that price action was right into that 5-minute Bollinger Band. So if we are going to go higher, we got to see a reaction in the 5-minute Bollinger Band, seeing it trying to open up here. So right now we need to see how we handle the 9 as we're coming back in. Will we hold it? It's a good angle on the 9. Right there, it looks like it's already want to roll it down. It's a good chance right here we're going to just see a pullback, just enough to see where the 9 rolls over and turns up to do the goose head. I do want to go back to the 5-minute time frame here. All right, so we're still trading with the bearish Harami, or the little bearish spinning top there. We have not got enough candles in to complete that. Next candle coming in here, the 9's still trying to point up, so that's a signal that it wants to go higher. Doesn't mean it's got to go higher right now. We're still expecting that curve on that goose head for now until we get a close above. We got to get a close above that 9 on the 1-minute time frame. Your short-term moving average on your 1-minute time frame, you need a close above. Still no close above. Still coming in. All right. Right there, we got a close above. You can see this candle line right here is in control. I need to take out this confirmation candle. I still really, personally for me, I want a close above the wick on this candle. You can try it. You do got a Bollinger Band going higher. Now, we're only looking for a trade up into this range high. We're not looking to trade past that range high until price action moves past that range high. When price action moves past that range high, we'll look to take a trade up there. But until then, we have to be extremely careful. Looking for scalps only up into that area. So we did get a candle to open up and push, coming back down. Still no close out of that area that I'm looking for, but it did try to push up there and hit that range high. Could have been a quick scalp if you were quick enough on it. This candle still struggling, finally getting to close above this area. Bands are trying to flatten out here. The MACD is flat. I'd like to see some life coming into the MACD. Right now, this should be range high target. If we're going to go, that is range high target until we clear that range high. Next candle opened up flat and went to push higher. Now this candle, the sellers come back in and rejected it and pulled it back. This could have been a decent trade if it would have worked. Unfortunately not. They all just don't work. So we turn back down below the 9. We're still watching this 9 for a possible turn higher. The angle still looks good. Right now it does look like it still wants to go higher. I don't recommend holding. You get caught in a red candle like that. I personally recommend cutting your trade and waiting for your next setup. Struggling back up above the 9, and you can see your goose head finishing to form there. Right now, back to range high target until we clear that area. The bands also need to open up to go higher. The band's flat. We need to see that band open up to go higher. Right now, you can see the band turning in. It's a good chance, strong candle back down, seeing that band turning in. That's telling us the trade's not ready yet. So we really need to just sit back and wait on those bands. And I know it seems like, man, when do I get to trade? All these little different details. When do I get to trade? It's coming. It's coming. If we break down, just like we talked about back here, we break down, watch to see where your lows put in at. Right now, still trying to hold that 9. First candle opened up below the 9, struggling, still trying to watch this area, still watching the bands. Pushed up into the band. Band did not open up on this next candle. No confirmation over that level. Still no trade. We're here closing down below the 9, testing that 20, still holding that 20. If we pull, watch where your lows put in at. Right there, trying to pull. Where will this low be put in at? This is where if you missed a down trade, you're looking to see where your low is going to be put in at, because you're looking for a reversal. Now, I just want to point out that your bottom band's opening up and your top band's trying to drift down already. MACD is bearish. Without seeing those bands opening up in both directions, that's a hard breakout to trust. See what the next candle gives us. Trying to break down here. You see how that band went flat right there? Coming back up. Bullish Harami right there. A bullish engulfing candle with a wick on it right there. Let's go look at the 5. 5 trying to go higher. Got to close above. Right there. Bands are opened up. Remember when we seen that band right here? And we were like, we talked about that. We were touching that. See how we're drifting open right now? Now let's go back to the 5 on the 5. Still holding the 5 on the 5. The 9 and the 5 look good. Now, as bad as that price action looked, we were waiting to see where the low was being put in because it's a very choppy day, right? That's just what we're looking for, because choppy day, a lot of backfill, so it's hard to trust a breakout. So we're looking to see where the lows are being put in at. Where you can see the 5 bearing down on that candle on the 1. I am going to turn that 5 off. The 9 and 20 leveling out, so possible reversal higher here. If we back above the 9, price target or target back up to the top of this, I still need to clear that area. But it could be a trade to be had back up to that area. Until we clear that area, we're not looking to trade past that area. But we can possibly look back above that 9, look for a scalp up into that area. Trending trade just not available yet. Right there, close above, and you can see right here, this is why we have to take that area out, and this is why we're expecting backfill. Not a lot of good follow through today. Every time we get a candle, we usually see backfill, so that's not surprising. Band's also pinching in. Band also never opened up there, so it's also telling us that it's not ready for a real move yet. Still sitting on our hands. We do got the drowning goose right here. Boom, right there. There's your signal. Green MACD. Histogram bar coming back in. MACD turning. Bands opening up. Close above. See if we can go higher. Still possible backfill. Still trying to hold that 9. Let's take a look at the 5-minute time frame now. You can see the 5-minute time frame. You got to close above, respecting the 9, working its way higher. Turn the 5 on. Still respecting the 5 as well, working its way higher, higher close. At this point in time, we're looking to get up to that pre-market level. That's the range high. Now, please remember, that's the target, but price action doesn't always go straight to the target. So you have to keep that in mind. It's your decision whether you want to hold for those targets or you want to take all the opportunities that are presented to you between here and that target. And that's what I personally look for, is I want all those opportunities that is presented to me. I'm turning the 5 back off on the 5-minute time frame. So you can see this candle closed back into the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands cutting through that candle, still trying to head higher. We do have a little dragonfly there. Dragonfly is a bullish reversal candle, or a bullish candle in this case. It may be a bullish continuation candle in this case. Doesn't always mean it has to be a bearish signal. Up here. Now, right here, we can see a bull flag. Bands are still trying to drift higher. They are calming down a little bit. We are going to draw our bull flag. We're going to stay high on that wick, high on that candle. That way we can stay on the corner of that candle. We need a candle to close above that area. For me, I want to be above this range high. Still looking good. We want to see some brighter green bars coming back into that histogram. Still right there, confirmation above. So at this point, for us to go higher, we need to take out the confirmation candle. Bands look great. No trade, guys. Calm down. Breathe. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Right here, you're waiting for the next candle to open up. A flat close, we're looking for a wick play. We always prefer a flat close. If we get a gap up or a gap down, decisions can have to be made. Candle gaps down, you have to wait for it to clear that body. If the candle gaps up, you can look for a trade up to the top of that wick. It all depends on where the next candle opens up at. Using the blended candle method, I can get a possible rising 4 out of that as well. So this candle, you can see where this candle gapped down. It did try to push, may have provided a scalp, did try to push into the Bollinger Bands. Right now, we want the 9 to cross this level. At this point, where we're so close in the Bollinger Bands, we're back into it, seeing rejection right there. Would prefer it to come back to bounce off the 9 again. Want to get the 9 outside of our pattern area there. This is where your trending trader is looking for a trade, and right there. Never got a good move above, never got a close above, and then this huge down candle comes back in. Now that down candle could be just putting in a higher low and getting ready to go higher. That is the evening star pattern there that would possibly need to be confirmed if it wants to go higher. Waiting for all those stupid little confirmations that Gino has, like looking for that candle to open up and seeing which way it goes. Taking out the confirmation candle, that would have been a quick scalp up there, but in that case it failed if you tried to hold that on the way up without waiting for that candle to take out and close to go higher. So it's tricky. That could have been a good signal to try to go. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't have got caught in that one myself. I did not, but I wouldn't saying I wouldn't have. This provided a nice down candle. Now, once again, are we putting in a higher low, gearing up to go higher, or will we actually try to break down on this one? We are losing our MACD on the 1. Looks like the 9 rolled back over. Boom. Nice move up. So what can we count that as right there? That we got to count that as it's a backfill day, a very choppy day, and we're seeing a lot of backfill. Guys, we're going to get caught in candles like that. We're going to get caught in bad trades. We're not going to win every one of them. The decision on that particular setup would have been pretty rough. Whether to take that or not. Like I say, I could have made money on a quick scalp. It's a good chance of that, but not everybody. If you get in that trade looking to hold, you may get caught. Once again, we got to close above. Now, will this start to stair step higher? We're back up above the 9. Once again, we've been seeing a lot of backfill today, so we need to see a good sign of a move higher. Bearish, a little bearish Arami, a little spinning topish candle there. 9, we want to see that 9 turning up to follow that price. MACD is trying to open up for us again here. And tried to confirm the bearish Harami there. That candle actually did gap down, so that was a nice gap down for a nice pull. I actually called a piece of that one, come down for a nice pull, and then snap back up. Still a it's a lower close than what this candle closed. So there's still I want to be back up into this area, preferably up above that area. If it's going. Now let's go take a look at the 5. So you can see we got kind of a contraction pattern here, all trading within that same range. We need a candle to close up. The Bollinger Bands are trying to drift up. That MACD does look decent, but we need a candle to close up on the outside on that 5-minute time frame. Seeing a lot of struggle up here. Like I say, if we can get a candle to move back up into this area, maybe look for a push up. But at this point, I still want to clear that confirmation candle. Letting those confirmation candles get cleared is huge. Still hitting lower. We did not get a close up above. No reason to go long there. Coming in, see where your low gets put in at. Also tapping on your Bollinger Band here. So if the Bollinger Band opens up, we can look for a trade to the downside. It could be sitting at support. We have lost that MACD. Could be still trying to put in a higher low. This is where your possible lows being put in at. You see the bands turning back up, flagging. So that happened pretty quickly. That was your low being put in. Got a nice little morning star pattern there. I'd always like my right hand candle to be stronger, but in this case it wasn't. Confirmed out of that just to come back down. See what we get now. Band trying to open up. Not really trying to take anything to the short side. Maybe a trade down to the candle line, but we're not looking to trade that candle line or below that candle line until we move below that candle line. Now we move below that, we're looking for a trade to the downside. Got the H cell pattern. Now we're looking for an H cell pattern break. Here we go. Trying to move lower. Bands opened up. That's the trades we're looking for right there. We're sitting through all this trying to find a decent, if you look, I know this is not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but this kind of looks like a shoulder. This kind of looks like a head. So when I see that, I'm just looking for a higher low, and that's exactly what we had, higher low. You can call this pivot point 1, pivot point 2, pivot point 3. Entries when price crosses pivot point 2, H sell pattern, so many different patterns, bearish patterns. You can see all that. Couple really nice down candles. This 200 right now needs to be cleared to go lower. We clear that 200, we're looking to go lower. Probably going to see some kind of flag first. 200 acting as support. So that found support at the 200. That confirms the 200 as support. The bands have already moved lower. Right now, we're looking for a move back above that 9. If we take the 9 back, we want to hold it to go higher. You can see the MACD changing character. We want to hold the 9 to go higher. If we reclaim that 9, until we get back above that 9, we're looking for a rejection back down to the downside for a bear flag type move. That is very more tower bottomish down here, but right now the 9 is still in control. MACD is changing character, still under that 9 on this candle. This one's closing up above. All right, so for me to go to the upside, you can see this candle opened up here. This candle retouched that same candle line. This candle touched, that candle touched, that candle touched. No long trade until you clear that area. That's resistance. Confirmed, confirmed, confirmed again, and very close to being confirmed again is resistance. You already know you cannot take a long trade until you clear that area. Calm down and breathe. And boom, right back down. 200 was confirmed as support. So if you could have grabbed some of that to the downside, I actually did get a piece of that candle to the downside. You could have grabbed some of that to the downside on the way down, but you're only looking to trade until the 200. Right now, you have a box. You can actually just draw a box around that area. Now, this closed below that candle line, but we still know that 200 is support. We see the confirmation, and that candle's confirming it again, so we have to move below that. Now, we are getting a drowning goose setting up in the MACD. Brighter red, bearish histogram bar coming in, and that MACD is bearish. All right, there we go. Confirmation below it, heading lower. And there's the drop. Nice move down right there. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame. Guys, that's what we're looking for right there. So the 5-minute time frame is not telling us much here. We're extended to the downside. What that's actually telling us is we shouldn't be talking about right now. So we're going to go back. Nice move down. See where the next candle opens up at. This candle actually gapped down, and initially a nice close like that, and actually got a clean open and pushed higher. But with that gap down, we would have been expecting a small push and then a rejection. But in this case, like that, we may have pushed up to the Bollinger Bands and then got rejected. In this particular case, that candle closed back into the Bollinger Band. So right now, neutral price action, waiting to see what we do. If we get a candle open up clean and push up above that wick, I would look for a scalp back up into the 9. If we get a candle open up and dump, looking to break below at least that candle line, maybe below that wick to go lower. Right now, that is a very piercing line candle-ish candle. That is not a piercing line candle, but a candle did gap down and push back inside. So that's a change in character. And that's why I say we're back into the Bollinger Bands. This candle opened up, pushed up above. Nothing more than a scalp, and that's if we get above that 9, possible move into that 9. Let's look at the 5 and see what the 5 looks like. We do have a long-legged doji here, which is a bullish signal. You can see them coming back for it, but we need to clear that 50. That 50, we did close below it. We got to get back above that 50 right here on the 5. Let's take a look at the 5 on the 5 quickly. The 5 on the 5 is turned down as well, coming down. So not looking to take anything to the long side till we get up above that 50 on that 5-minute time frame. Let's go back to the 1. Next candle, rejection. Bands look like the possible downside here. If we come lower, we need to clear this. The best we'll get is a H cell pattern type move, scalp down. We have to get a close below this to go lower. Watching the 9 come into the upside. 9 just moved down closer. Don't have enough room to really trade up there. This candle is pushing back above the 9. So at this point, we need to stay above the 9, hold the 9. The 9 or your MACD on the 1 is changing character. We need to hold above that 9. Nice push there, seeing good follow through on that candle. Watch this area right here at this point, pushing higher. Would have made a nice move, but I'd like to clear this area, get a candle to close up above that area. You can kind of see shoulder, head, shoulder there already. So let's see what we get. Expecting a little bit of chop in this area before going higher, possibly putting in a higher low. Is this what we're looking for here for a higher low? Can definitely see it contracting. We just want to break above that area before going in on it. This 9's turning up nicely. We don't have to rush into these trades. Got the MACD changing character. If this trade's going to work and go higher, it should make a nice enough move for us to actually trade it. If it's going to fail, we will not be into it when it fails. Waiting for this 9 to get closer. We do need a close above here. So it could just be putting in a higher low for an inverted type head and shoulders move. It's getting a little long here. Right there, we got to close above. We got to close above this side. I still want to be above that area right there before going higher. Just want to note that your bands are opening up. You could notice that on the before this candle. MACD looks good here. Nice close above. The 50 on the 1. At this point, we need a candle to close above that 50 before going higher. Bands look good, but we have to get a close. This candle gapped up and pulled back. That is not confirmation above that 50. Now that's a new confirmation level. We need a candle to push up above that level right there before going higher. Since that candle gapped up and we've seen a change in character, anytime you get a gap up, that's the bulls getting excited and they pull it back like that. That's the sellers trying to come back in. The 9 still looks good, but the new confirmation now is we got to clear the top of that red candle before going higher. No bullish move until we clear that level. That candle right there actually slightly closed above. The band still look like it's going higher. This is a decent setup. And pulling back right there. Let's go look at the 5 real quick and see if there was anything on that 5 that told us that was coming. That candle gapped up and pulled back. Not seeing anything there. It looks like a lower high here on the 5. Let's go back to the 1 minute time, or yes sir, the 1 minute time frame here. So if you did try to go in on that, that just simply did not work. And some trades are going to be like that. That should have been a decent confirmation. The one thing I will say that should have kept you out of this trade, you would have been looking for the next candle to open. It did gap up, but it never even tried to push. That candle gapped up and immediately went red. You should not have been into it until you got the candle to open up and push. You see it right here, breaking back down, coming back in. Just watch to see where your lows put in at. Get a little bullish Rami there, trying to go higher. Watching the 9, we're seeing a 9 turn up. We want to close, which we just did, close back above that 9. We want to hold that. I'd like to see this MACD character change to see if we can go higher. We need to see it get up above this level right here. You know, that right there is your new confirmation. I'm not looking to trade anything until we get up there. The 50's in the way, so I'm not even looking for a scalp here. As good as it looked, I'm personally not looking for a trade. Watching the band, seeing the bands pinch in. We want to see them open up, trying to move lower, trying to give us like an H cell pattern. Triggered that. Nice move down here. All right, so we got a nice move down, bullish Rami trying to turn back up. Right now, that 9 is angled over. That 200 needs to be cleared if we're going higher. Still looking for a possible resistance here, or rejection, the way that 9's angled. Close below, band suggesting more downside, trying to get the H cell pattern again. Right there, that's a nice signal right there for a change in character. So it tried to break lower, and you can see the bulls coming back in, or the buyers coming back in, buying that candle back up and closed it. Couldn't turn it into a high close candle, and you can see the sellers trying to take it back on this candle when it opened up. That's why we gapped down, because the sellers were stepping in, but the bulls took it back. Nice close up above there. Does look like a higher low right now. This is some pretty choppy action. If we go in and look at the 5, this whole area, I just want to mention that the risk reward was not there for options traders, short-term options traders, and you shouldn't have been involved into the market. The close above here on the 9 on the 5. Let's go and turn the 5 on the 5 on. 5 on the 5 is resistance there. We're going to watch this 5-minute time frame for a little while, try to get through some of this. We're getting pretty long here for Super Bowl Sunday. All right, nice close above on the 5-minute time frame. Got a close above there, but you can see these bands struggling there to open up. We need to continue to see them open up, trying to go higher. Want to see this 9 continuing to push up, 5 continuing to push up on the 5. Let's go back on the 1 minute time frame, talk about some of this. So we pushed up, you can see flag back in, got a rising 2 there, confirmed on the 4th candle, chopping higher. But what you're not seeing up here is higher closes. So we are seeing some struggles. Not seeing higher closes in this area, and that's why we were able to get a pullback. Go back to the 5 minute time frame and try to get through some of this here. So we come back down, testing that 9 on the 5, still trying to go higher. Remember, we need that higher close. Boom, right there. See if we can go higher. Going higher. We got the higher close starting your stair step higher. Now, also on that higher close, I just want to point out right here where we got the higher close. If you look down here, you can see your MACD was in the middle of the a wave here, kind of goose heading, looking to open up, which is doing it again right now. Back below the 9 on the 5, pushing back up on that candle, still right in between. So right now your 9 on the 5 and the 5 on the 5 is your 2 levels of interest. The 5 is resistance. We got to clear that 5 to go higher. I want it back up above there to go higher. Breaking down here, you can see shoulder, possible head. So just looking for a lower high, it might be able to break lower, or a close above here to go higher. Just a trading range right there. Closing above, trying to go higher. And that's what we're looking for, is those close above candles when we have the 9 turned up and our Bollinger Bands are open, and then we want to see our MACD open up as well. Let's go take a look here. We'll pause this out. Let's go take a look on the 1 minute time frame really quickly. So you can see right here, this looks like a very small inverted head and shoulders type move. Either way, I set up like a little pipes down here. Nice close above. Then once again, I close above. And this is your 1 minute time frame. We're going to turn the 5 off. That 5 on the 1 is turned up nicely, but we're going to turn that off. We need to hold this 9. We need to be able to hold that 9. I want to see this MACD changing character. For reversal off the lows here, we have to be able to hold that 9. Decent move higher. Can we clear some moving averages? The 9 steady coming up. All right, so we're still waiting on the 9 to get caught up. We still need to hold that 9. We are getting over 40-minute mark, so we're going to have to cut this quick. So if we are going to go higher, we need to break up above this 20. We want to see this MACD open up. If we're going to go lower, we got to break that 9. If we break the 9, it's range low target. If we can take that 20 out, we're looking to hopefully take the 50 out, get up there and be able to take the 50 out. But we got to get above that 20 before we can go long. We want to make sure we're holding our 9 before we go long as well. Candles like that can come in and really shake you out and scare you if you're into the trade early. This is why we got to get the timing on the trade as good as possible. Come back down, dip below the 9. A lot of people would have probably tried to run and grab something short there. Did not confirm below, no candle close. Buyers were able to come and take it back higher. So see where this next candle opens up and what this next candle does. So nice, clean, perfect candle line right there, open flat, no pullback. Got the 9 turning up into that candle, got the close above. See if we can go higher. We're looking to clear the 50 now, target at the 50. Nice push higher. I want to talk about that candle. That candle did exactly what I like. It did gap down, which can be a little scary, make you think it's going to go lower. So it pulled back into the 9. So retest of the short-term time frame, pushed up. This candle turned green, and when it cleared this previous candle line, that's looking for your trade. Right now we are up above the 50 with a close confirmed up there, but we got to get that 9 up there. MACD looks great. We need to see those Bollinger Bands open up. You see right there, see that band turning into your price action. There's no trade up here until those bands open up. At this point, your trade was right here with its close above. When this candle cleared that was your entry on the way up. Well, guys, I am also losing my voice here. So we're going to go ahead and call this as it is. Just for future reference, we will put this, or for reference, we'll open this up. This just completely failed here, and then we just chopped around going into the end of the day. Just to give you an idea, we did move lower. We couldn't break below that area until here, but it wasn't the greatest action here going into the end of the day. and that's it. So just a lot of chop. It did get a short move down there after a break below there. There was some higher lows that could have been traded. You can also see a shoulder, head, little shoulders there breaking lower and then doing what head and shoulders do. You know, they want to give you these, looks like they want to go higher before breaking down again. Um, so I hope that you find this helpful. And as always, I hope I see you in the trading room. Have a great weekend, and I hope your team wins for the Super Bowl.